right, we are Mirage Interactive. We are creating a 3D educational game using augmented reality for a mobile device. I'm Colin Stearns.
I'm Jason Bale.
I'm Joe Gilka.
I'm Q.
All right, so you're probably wondering what augmented reality is. So you've seen Avatar and movies like Iron Man. Augmented reality is taking a 3D environment and building it around the existing environment that you already live in right now. So as you can see in this picture, the tree is built around, like, there's a table in front of them, and then the images are built around that. And then augmented reality is the only solution to VR. So the difference between augmented reality and virtual reality, which virtual reality is you have the goggles over your face, and the world is built through 3D in that sense. Like, it doesn't incorporate anything that you see here. So it's less engaging and interactive than augmented reality would be. So just to go forward again, as you can see, Mr. Downey here is interacting with the augmented reality environment around him, which is Jarvis, if you've seen the movie Iron Man. And he can spin this around, he can play with it, he can add other elements to his actual environment that he is in right now. What we're doing though is we're using a mobile device for augmented reality because we don't have the tools that they have in the movies because they don't exist really right now. So we have the phone, which has the AR camera, which picks up a target plane, as you can see there, and then our 3D environment is built around that target plane. So you can play your game through the existing environment that you have.
Now, we talked about educational games, and for our educational side of our game, we're going to try to incorporate a term, tangential learning, which is basically to facilitate a learning environment in your game without forcing the education itself. A good example would be Pokemon. I'm pretty sure a lot of you played this game and probably remember. Now, like, who can say all the 150 Pokemon in the Pokédex? A lot of you, because it's an example of tangential learning where they haven't taught you or forced you to learn all of these names, but you do because you went in and researched on your own time as your own. And this is again the 150 Pokemon that you might know and maybe see. Again, this is a learning game, and the purpose of our game would be learning about the periodic table of elements for our game.
All right. Yeah. So, what if you took Pokemon and you added it with an educational component, such as the periodic table of elements? If you did that, you would get what we are creating, which is the Element Knight game. So here's Patrick illustrating. Let's take all these educational games and add augmented reality to them. That is our problem statement. We want to see what happens when you add augmented reality to an educational game. Right here, we wanted to make our game like sort of a fun, kind of an enjoyable characters. So this is an example of one of the characters from our game, or the main character, which is the Element Knight, who's going to be going around using elements to solve different problems. We want people to associate the different elements in the game with their physical properties in real life. To create our game, we're going to be using the Unity game engine, or we use the Unity game engine, and that allows us to make a 3D scene, and with that we can use this plugin from Qualcomm. It's called Vuforia, which allows us to create a implement augmented reality into our Unity game. That is like what was mentioned earlier about using a target image. You can place a target image onto a table or any sort of flat surface, and then you can look at it with your mobile device, and a augmented reality scene will be built in front of you that you can view through your phone. This right here is kind of one of the other things we wanted to implement into our game is a codec system, similar to like the Pokédex. This is actually an example from Mass Effect, where as part of, not like forced on the player, but as part of an extra thing, they had a library of information. And this is what we kind of want to do with our elements. We want to enable the player to learn a little bit about elements in their free time.
So for our product, we created an augmented reality mobile game. And here you can see kind of our menu. So when you look away from the target, it'll have this similar to pause menu. And here you have the periodic table and different elements you picked up will be highlighted in green. And then you can activate different elements that you picked up so that you can use them inside the game. And once you look back at the target, here's an example target up here. You can move in 3D space in real time all around the target as long as you can see it still. And our 3D scene will pop up on the screen. And we have an intuitive control. No matter what direction you're holding your mobile device in, the controls will move with it. So the directional move stick is always in the left corner, and the interact button is always in the right bottom corner. And to make it more comfortable for the player, the joystick control is not always on the screen, but wherever you put your thumb, it appears underneath the finger and can be used there. So this is the end presentation, or is it? Augmented reality is an emerging technology, and it is still being developed. Many companies, such as Google, have been developing different tools and software that hopefully in the future will facilitate more kinds of games, different programs that can be used for maybe educational games. And our final presentation is on Friday, and I hope you will all be there. Thursday, sorry.
Great.
Thank you.